Hey guys, it's Michelle again. I'm finishing up my apple for my, oh, they smell so good with the cinnamon and sugar, for my cobbler thing that I got going on here. But I thought I would vlog with you a little bit more while I'm stirring and getting everything ready. Anyway, some of you may know from previous videos, some of you may not, but I used to work for an Elvis impersonator. I did that for roughly 2 years. I was a backup dancer. It was a lot of fun. That's how Joey and I originally met. I do miss it sometimes, but you know, that's a chapter in my life. And anyway, even before I worked for an Elvis impersonator, I always had a thing for Elvis. My mother really doesn't like him. Who does she like better? Engelbert Humperdinck, which I don't mind him. Better than Tom Jones, because I'm sorry guys, the only song by Tom Jones that I like is What's New Pussycat. And when I hear that song, I think of the commercial from years ago with Tweety Bird, where he goes, with Michael Jordan, he goes, "What's new, Pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa." And I just think that's absolutely hilarious. And me and my brother used to really tick my mother off because she had a CD that had Tom Jones and Engelbert Humperdinck. And that song's on there. And there's a line in the song where he goes, "Pussycat, pussycat, you're delicious." And us being kids, and we weren't thinking sexually because we weren't at that point where we would have a mind like that, but we just thought it was funny. We just pictured Tom Jones chewing on a cat, which is kind of disturbing now that I've said it. Very disturbing. But we thought that was funny, that he thinks pussycats are delicious. So we would play that one little part on rewind. It's that one little skit, "You're delicious," and then we'd add so nutritious just to tick her off. Anyway, but I really always, I don't know, he was a very good looking man. I can't say I've ever had a crush on Elvis, but I mean, he was just a very, very good looking man, at least I think so. You could argue with me on that if you want. I thought he was very good looking. I love his music. My favorite songs are, it's hard to pick. You Were Always on My Mind is one that I definitely up there, one of my favorites. Suspicious Minds is another one that I really enjoy. Let me think. While I Can Dream. I really love While I Can Dream. It just sounds so powerful. And probably everybody's favorite, and this one kind of has a soft spot for me, and that is Can't Help Falling in Love. It's been done so many times. UB40, and I can think of, let's see, Cascada, I think is another girl who did it. Her version's pretty cool too. But so many people have done that song. But what is kind of bittersweet for me about it is it was my grandmother who passed away 20 years earlier. And my grandfather's one of their favorite songs. After my grandmother died, unfortunately, and I don't know if this was my grandfather's idea or if it was Gold Digging You Know What's idea, but when he remarried Gold Digging You Know What, they used that song. They used Can't Help Falling in Love as their first song as husband and wife. I didn't know this at the time, and now, thinking back, you always think of things when you think back, you know what I mean? Wow, I think I made too many apples again. Definitely. But anyway, I get like this occasionally where my grandfather lingers on my mind a lot, and he basically raised me. He was my stronghold. He taught me all lessons that mean very much to me. And I guess with the holidays coming, hold on guys, I guess with the holidays coming, it just makes it harder for me. Because, like I said, he was my best friend. And, like I said, I've thought about calling him, which, I mean, I know I can't, but it's like, it's bittersweet, it hurts really bad, and it kills me because I know in this lifetime, I'll never be able to call him again. I'll never be able to talk to him like I'm talking to you guys, in that sense. And when I hear that song, it reminds me of him and my grandmother, and I kind of picture in my head them, you know, in heaven or wherever they are, and dancing to that song, and I just miss them so much. I miss him so much. It's difficult. And I sometimes wonder, maybe you guys wonder too sometimes, about loved ones who've passed on. I was like, would he be proud of where I'm at? Would he be proud with who the person I've become? Even though it's only been 3 years, but a lot has changed in those 3 years for me. And I ask myself those things, because if there was anybody that I would be so upset if they weren't pleased with something I did, it would be him. I know he'd be pleased that I quit smoking. It'll be a year next month. I'm very excited about that. I can't believe it's been that long. Once in a while I'll have a craving, but it's not enough for me to want to go out and buy a pack. Like, I'm very proud of myself. I've come very far. As far as that goes. But, anyways, I don't know if I can squeeze all these bad boys in here. I'm going to try. I don't want to dirty these 2 dishes. But he lingers on my mind a lot. I'd like to think that maybe he's close by when those feelings come up. But, I guess we don't really know. But I miss him horribly. Oh, horribly, guys. Like, if I could... Like, I remember there was a question on a tag video that I think I did, and it was like, if you could go back and change one thing, or if you can give up everything for one thing, I would give up just almost anything. To have a date with him. To have 24 solid hours with him, to talk to him again and tell him how much I love him, and that all the lessons that he instilled in me are still very much there, and that when I have children, that they're going to be taught the same lessons, and that his memory will be kept alive, and I will try to keep his memory alive for as long as I'm alive, because he was just incredible. Because I know now why, like, my parents would talk about their grandparents or my great-grandparents, and there was a slight connection, like through stories and stuff, and I learned little fables, but I never understood why, because these were people I never met. And now I do know why, because I want to make sure that my grandfather's legacy lives on too. I just wish that he would have been alive, like, when I did have kids. You know what I mean? Like, I would have loved for him to have been a great-grandfather before he passed, but that wasn't in the cards, in the master plan, but that's okay. But he is truly, truly missed, and sometimes, like I said, it's just difficult, you know what I mean? It's just really, really difficult. Especially with the holidays and stuff, he is always on my mind. And I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong if you guys go through these too, I feel like I go through these spells every few months. And I forgot who said it, but it was said so eloquently. It's not that we get over our losses when somebody passes on, but how can I word it the way she did? The heart doesn't heal. The heart never forgets. It just learns to hide the pain. And I think that is true, because it hurts today just as much as the day I found out that he passed. It hurts today just as much as the day I put the rose in his coffin and I gave him a kiss on the cheek goodbye, my last goodbye to him. It hurts just as much. It still hurts. And I'm not gonna lie, to get through that day, my mother did one day for the wake, and 2 different times. The first one was so emotionally draining, I don't even know how I made it. And keep in mind, at this time, I was injured. I had a back injury. So, I mean, I was on meds. I was just a mess all over. And then there was a break in between for like an hour or so. I don't remember how long it was. And I remember turning and looking at Joey and saying to him, I can't go back. I can't do this. I can't do this. I did it for him, But I was so, like I said, he was the strong one. He was the strong one. He was the one that everybody went to, that, you know, he was the stronghold. And, oh my God. I just hope that in my lifetime, I can live it just half as well as he lived, or how he saw the world. That's a pretty good life. I mean, he came to this country with a nickel in his pocket, and he became a millionaire, and then he lost it all, and then became rich again, and then at the end lost it all due to sickness. But his outlook never changed on life. He never changed. No matter what aspect he was at, he never changed. And I think that's what really matters, is good moral character, to have what those lessons instilled in you. And I'm very fortunate that I have that from him. But, you know, listening to Elvis, it makes me think about him. I mean, well, that song anyway. I had to put it on, guys. I was on YouTube, and well, I'm cooking. I like having you guys next to me, I guess. And I'm listening to music, and Elvis pops into my head because I love Elvis, and I went to that song, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna cry. And then I thought maybe vlogging about it. But I love Elvis. And it reminds me, that song, anyway, it reminds me of my grandfather. And just good memories. Does anybody else get that? There are certain songs that I can listen to that, not just my grandfather, but will bring me back to a time. And not just a time, but to a person. Like, there is a Roseanne Cash song that every time I hear it brings me back to this person that I know/knew. We don't talk anymore. Not on bad terms or anything like that. But it's like, wow, I can think of songs like that, and it brings me back to certain people. Like, wow, it's just kind of amazing, isn't it? I know they've done studies on stuff like this, but it just blows my mind how complex, I guess, something as simple as a song can make the mind go, you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to me. I feel kind of bad when I ramble to you guys about my grandfather, because I know I've done it in so many videos, and you guys probably are like, we know, Michelle, we know, we have a list of what you say about him. And I hope that it doesn't annoy you guys. It's a way for me to kind of get those feelings out and not cry about it, you know, kind of like let his memory live on, sort of, to speak. He was a great man. He was a wonderful man. Wish you guys could have met him. Anyway, guys, I'm going to finish making this because I'm going to get my hands covered in egg and stuff. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks again. I'm going to charge this bad boy up, and we are going for a ride tomorrow. So I'll see you later. Bye.